Well, here we are. Team Reddit, Team Forums, again, Mr. Here, with a recap of the grudge match. As you can see, Team Reddit has won by percentage, equal stars, percentage 91.82. We're going to have a look at 3 Town Hall 11. Let me start that again. We'll have a look at 3 Town Hall 12 attacks from each team, 3 stars, 3 Town Hall 11s from each team, and 3 Town Hall 10s from each team. So that'll be 18 attacks all up is what we're going to have a look at. And I'm going to save the last 2 attacks, 1, 12 from each team as the last 2, because I think those last 2 attacks, which were done in the last, one of them was the last 3 minutes of the war and the other one was the last 1 minute of the war, pretty well sum up how close the war was. So what we'll do is Town Hall 10 attacks will include people that got 6 packs and are chosen based on the speed of the attack. That was the easiest way I was going to make the decision. A lot of great attacks that went on, and I'll also cover how many dips actually took place as well, but I'll do that later on after the attacks are done. So let's get into the attacks. First one we have the very bottom of the base, Town Hall 10. No Town Hall 9s. And this one, as we all know, Town Hall 9s has become a little bit of a joke to my sadness. My forever Town Hall 9 base will, maybe I'll just put it aside and retire it, and my other bases I'll upgrade, but don't know. But here we go. Town Hall 10, bottom of the pack. We've got a drag bat attack coming in, just to show you that drag bat still does work at Town Hall 10. Which is good news for some Town Hall 10 attackers who did come to Relina. Obviously, it's not an everything attack on every single base, but you can certainly use it as a first attack, I guess, if you like. It ends up becoming a little bit of a scout. So as you can see, Queen on one side creating that little bit of a funnel, hopefully get that air defense down. King on the other side taking a little bit of distraction off the wizards and the archer, while the siege machine stone slammer comes in. Have been seeing a lot of use with the Stone Slammer with the air attacks, or my personal favourite anyway, in air over the top of the blimp, because it doesn't really matter whereabouts the Town Hall is, as long as it comes in and it helps you filter or funnel, I guess you could say, or serve a purpose, whatever the purpose is you might want it to serve. Loads of bats left. This base is toast. Just watch how quick the bats go through the remaining weapons, and of course the bats will then start up on the cleanup as well. And the dragons will try to catch the bats in action, but the bats will just forge ahead as we go around and around the base. I'm not even sure the dragons get too much of a breath off on any of these things before the look at that. The bats are just nuking all these things before the dragons get a chance to do anything. And of course the bats have steamed right ahead. So game over for this base. 1 minute 38 seconds, I think, is the official time on the clock. Nice 3-star. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we have Airborne having a go, a 3-star attack onto Tamzilla's base. If you haven't been following the Reddit versus forum thing at all, just a little bit of trivia is that Tamzilla was the first person to use Witch Slap in the way back before Witch Slap became a thing. Tamzilla was the first person to do Witch Slap, and from there we just progressed. And it became a thing, and now Town Hall 9 is pretty well useless, and every base gets 3-starred with witches. Thank you, Tamzilla, for showing us the way all that time ago. So Airborne coming in, Sui Lalo, get the heroes in, take out air defense, hopefully. No, actually the Queen won't reach that air defense. Should get the Inferno, though, with any bit of luck, once the ability comes in. Stone Slammer coming in, as usual, going to take out the air defense, and the Queen is still alive, so the Queen's going to path around. Clone spells down, plenty of learns, plenty of dragons, 27% of the base done, and the main Lalo part hasn't even started. Here we go, 30% with the main Lalo just starting. E-Drag's still up, Queen's still up. The Queen should make it around the entire base now at the moment. And just nice little pathing, 2 more haste at a rage, 1 freeze still to go, and that's it. Freeze is down, and rage is down. And so just a couple of haste spells now to see out the rest of the base, rest of the attack, over through to the Expo's air defense, last air defense, and then taking on those couple of wizards. Queen's still up, so even if a lot of this stuff doesn't actually survive, but if it did survive, the queen would have a little bit of a chance, but with the haste spell beautifully placed, balloons coming down both sides of those weapons, so they weren't going to go one weapon to the next, to the next, to the next. They were all just taking out the weapons as they came through. Wizard doing a lot of damage with the red balloon. See how much red bomb, see how much balloons, how many balloons just went down then. Loads. So it wouldn't have made a difference though with the E-Drag and all the, well, the minions probably would have been taken out by the wizard if it tried to come around, but with the E-Drag and the queen, the wizard wasn't going to do much to them, and game over for the base. So Airborne did get a 6-pack at Town Hall 10. His first attack was, I think it was a hog attack. Yeah, it was a hog attack. Was his first attack. So showing his versatility, doing a Suilalo with the clone, E-Drag and balloons, and hog attack on the second one. Let's move on to the third attack. Okay, next attack is another drag bat attack, showing you that it is still an actual thing. So here we go, and the defender from Reddit is, if you're wondering how to pronounce that, it's face, because it looks like a face. So just speed that little process up. Oh, we've gone into half speed. Accidentally, half speed by accident. Okay, King creating a little bit of a funnel on the right hand side. Queen is down way, way, way on the left. Hopefully she's going to take out the wizard and maybe a couple of other little things. Take out the Tesla possibly with a little bit of luck. Dragon drop down to help create a little bit more of a funnel. And we've got 1, 2, 3. All the 4 air defenses are still up. So obviously, ideally, if you could have gotten one of the air defenses down, that would have been pretty good, but not the case here. All the dragons down, got a bunch of balloons coming up, and then the Stone Slammer should come in from the side. There we go, Stone Slammer from the side. So coming in one angle from the dragons and the balloons, from the side with a Stone Slammer. If you're just new to drag bat and you're wondering how you can use a Stone Slammer to help you out, that is one way. Into the Air Sweeper as well. What we have noticed is that the Stone Slammer and the Air and the Blimp don't really seem to be affected too many by spells. Now watch these bat spells have been dropped with no rage, so that's an interesting thing. Normally people drop the rage and drop the bat spells with the rage, but in this case the rage is being kept up the sleeve for a little bit of something later on. Obviously here you've got Air Defense, Wizard and an Inferno Tower, so what better place to put a rage than there? And again, we're seeing that the Stone Slammer is not affected by the rage too much at all. It's not moving faster or it doesn't grow. But of course, once the balloons are in it, come out with the dragon. That was, I think there was a dragon in there. Did I just see correctly that there was a dragon in there as well? And last air defense about to go down. And that's it. Now it's just a matter of cleanup. We'll just 2 times this. Oh, okay, there's 1 Tesla left. But that's not going to be an issue, even if the balloon goes down. And the balloon does go down, but too many dragons for that 1 Tesla to defend against. So Captain Junior bringing on another 3-star for Team Forums. And from here, we'll go on to the Town Hall 11s. And again, we'll go through from the fastest to the slowest, or whatever the case may be. That we'll just go the 3 fastest ones. Let's move on. And here we go. We've got 1 minute 15 on this wipeout. And as you can see, it's a 5 freeze spell E-Drag attack. So let's just get going. Number 35 versus number 35. So technically you can't get any more even than that. Level 10 Grand Warden, so not maxed heroes. And few balloons, few drags coming in. So a little bit of a spread, a little bit of a funnel created. And now here comes a Stone Slammer. Warden's down. I think he saves the heroes on this one to a little bit of a cleanup. If I remember rightly, the heroes play a cleanup role or come in at a different angle just to see what's possibly needed from them. It kind of I've seen a few of that. I did see a little bit of that during all the attacks, and I did watch all of the 3-star attacks throughout the whole war, so I didn't really concentrate on any of the 2-stars. But here we go. The heroes are on the left-hand side there at 9 o'clock. They've just dropped in there. It kind of reminded me of the old using the troops to sort of create a little bit of a funnel left, right, and hold one side of the base, and then drop the king and the queen so the king could start to beat through a wall, and then the queen would gradually follow so the king could get into the town hall and take out the town hall. And the old 2-star attack days, which are a thing of the past, as people go for 3 stars now at Town Hall 10 and up. Let's move on. Okay, here we have 1 minute and 40. It's a pretty fast wipeout. Suilalo attack by Don't know how to pronounce that name, so this is one of my clanmates, and we just called it Chinese character for ease of reference, and that's how we used to, and everyone referred to that in the NDL. And for Town Hall 11, I think Chinese character had the most Town Hall 11 3 stars in our division in Welter. So let's move on. See, and he got a 6-pack in this war as well. And in my clan, actually, some of the air attacks that I've come up with, he's made suggestions that are just spot on. They work. They only fail if I can't deploy correctly. But once I got the deployment correctly, say with a follow-up attack using one of my other Town Hall 10s or something like that, then work beautifully. So Sui Lalo coming in. Hound, loons, hound, loon, more hounds, more loons, and lovely spell deployment as we move around the base here. For me, Warden's in, air skellies have popped, nice poison on the Clan Castle dragon that came out to defend, Stone Slammer on the right hand side, Grand Warden's ability activated, and I've watched it a few times, not sure if the Warden's ability was supposed to be used then or saved, but either way, massive amount of balloons coming in. Still has a Skelly spell up the sleeve. Still has 5 minions to deploy. Loads of pups. Look at all the pups everywhere up the top. Rage spell down. One more Skelly spell to go. Wizard Tower will go down. Then the mortar. And I don't think there are any other weapons after that. Nope, that's it. Just clean up. Pups up the top here on the left-hand side. Minions on the right. Skelly on the right. And that is it. Less than 2 minutes. Actually, it's about 1:38, I think it was on the clock. Roughly 1.5 minutes for a wipeout of a base is good work in anyone's language. And there we go. I think his other attack was something, I can't remember what the other one was. I think it might have been a drag bat attack. Okay, let's move on to another one. Alrighty, 21 versus 21. E-drag bat attack. Max Heroes versus Max Heroes, number 21 versus 21. Sui Heroes, of course, with the Grand Warden going to come in with the main push into the base, dropping a balloon just to take out any possible black bomb that's over there on the right hand side. E-drags to help create a little bit of a funnel. Another balloon there, so that's cleared the E-drag path. Balloons and E-drags coming in now. E-drags are pretty good for funneling if you can keep them alive, so hence the drop of a balloon to take out any black bombs. Heroes have done a nice, lovely little job on this back end. Here, bat spells go down, left-hand side on the wizard, going to take out the 2 air defenses and the Expo under the rage. Just way too overpowering on that left-hand side. As I've said previously in other videos and whatnot, often you'll see these bases with a moat. While they do my head in, certainly in terms of there's a moat to deal with, does it have bombs? If I do a hog attack, the moat's going to hide all the bombs, but I've used up my heal spells. Oh my goodness. But in terms of air attack, they often assist with pathing around the base. If you end up segmenting the base, and that just becomes one little segment that helps you come up with a plan for the base. Loads of E-drags left. The weapons stand no chance, and down they go. 25 seconds left. We'll just speed that up. And, one little Tesla. I didn't even see the Tesla there hiding behind the town hall. I thought it was all over. Balloons even still survived. And that's it. That is the last Town Hall 11 3-star. Now we'll move on to 2 Town Hall 12s, and I'll save one of the Town Hall 12s for at the end. Okay, let's just dive into this. We've got E-drag loon drag bat with E-drags at Town Hall 12. Again, we've got some E-drags coming down to create a little bit of a funnel. Bat spells coming down early, have seen a little bit of that. Get the bat spells deployed outside so that they can swarm in to the base, and of course in so doing, by swarming in, creating a little bit of a distraction. Look at a massive health damage that has gone on here. Balloons just going around the roundabout there, having a grand old time. Grand Warden's ability is activated. Free spells down. One more free spell to go. Oh, now the Grand Warden's ability is activated. Drag bats, balloons all over the place. Again, we've got a little bit of a moat just creating a little bit of assistance. Late drop of the heroes, obviously to see what the drag bat or what the dragons and the balloons are doing. So heroes will path down that outside. Stone Slam is still going strong. Loads of dragons still up. We've still got a minute on the base left to attack. Hero ability still up the sleeve. And it's just a matter of time. Already know it's a 3-star. 45 seconds on this one. And it was almost bang on 3 minutes. And I saw a really good lot of that sort of thing going on throughout the war. Troops, like down to the last troop, down to the last sliver of health on a troop, down to the last half a second on the clock, like you can see here. That drag's going to help a little bit. The king will have to rage up in a minute. His ability hasn't been used. But once you're at this stage, you can see that it's only a matter of time. Once the king goes through taking out a few things, and the queen's ability ends up getting used as well, get some more troops on the field of battle. And that's it. Just in the nick of time on that one. From Nightcaller, Town Hall 12, 3-star. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, I misspoke. Previously, the previous attack wasn't bang on 3 minutes. This one is bang on 3 minutes. So, how close is all of this? So, Smolson, let's get going. Taking out Ron Mexico from Team Reddit, Town Hall 12. Baby Dragon goes down, balloon coming in. Not going to take out the Arch Tower, but Baby Dragon's getting a little bit of a snipe action going, or a little bit of a funnel action going, or trying to at least anyway. Miners will be the choice, and P.E.K.K.A coming down. So nice slow build up on this attack at the beginning. Just deploy just to make sure that you can achieve what you need to do with your heroes. Some minions going down to get a little bit of funneling and a little bit of early cleanup going. Obviously, if you've got some things over here that you can take care of that aren't going to be, let's say, annoying. They might be annoying at the end. So start to get them down now. Nice little build up. Siege machine coming in, Ram as I call it. Going to take out the Queen. Not sure, I can't remember what's in it, if it was Valkyries or Bowlers or something like that. Rage, yeah, there we go, Valkyries. Queen will go down in a second. Valkyries have taken out a few things. Rage on the Queen, walk Queen, keep her alive. Inferno's gone down. Now we'll just have the King coming down the left-hand side. He's going to clear a little bit more of a path there, so I'm assuming the miners will come in from this left-hand side. There we go, yep. Queen on the right, King on the left, miners down the middle. Eagle Artillery has fired up. I don't think the Queen will quite get it. She's almost, well, if that, actually she is. She's onto that Eagle Artillery. I thought she was shooting, couldn't see what she was shooting then for a second. I got confused with the miners taking the health out of the Expo and the Queen taking the health out of the Expo. So 2 Expos on the Queen now. She has to use a special ability. Town Hall and Grand Warden's ability should be used. Will it? There we go. Grand Warden's ability used to keep the miners alive from the Town Hall. I lose track of the miners so easily. One more heal spell left to go. Queen's still up. She's going to take out the statue Grand Warden on defense. Heal over the multi-wizard and Tesla farm sort of area. And the Queen, of course, the Queen has to shoot a wall. It's not a wall unless the Queen can find a wall to shoot. I'm not sure if I've got it in this replay, but there is a lovely one that I saw where the Queen was standing in a small box and there was a hole in the wall and she stood there shooting a different wall to get out of the box. So if the Supercell people were watching, they got to see firsthand how crazy the Queen can be. And this was a nice little 3-star. Bang on the 3-minute mark. Oh, just imagine everyone would have been sweating watching this one take place. And probably only half a second in it if it's saying it was bang on the 3 minutes. So there's probably only half a second in it and game over. So the last Town Hall 12 attack from Team Forums onto Team Reddit I'm going to show at the end. Okay, let's move on to the Team Reddit attacks starting at Town Hall 10. Okay, we saw Face's base getting wrecked from Team Reddit and now we'll see him having a bit of a kill squad hog attack on the bottom Town Hall 10 here. Obviously it's not a fully maxed Town Hall 10. You can see these Infernos aren't fully maxed. Nevertheless, Infernos still have to be dealt with. And it's all over. As what I've done, Reddit didn't have any 6-packers at Town Hall 10. They had some at Town Hall 11, and I'll cover those as we get to Town Hall 11. So what I've done is I've just picked the 3 fastest attacks at Town Hall 10, the ones that were quickest on the clock, regardless of who did them. So bowlers, I think bowlers were in the Clan Castle on this one, and he's got 23 hogs left. 30% of the base is destroyed. Here comes a nice little conga line of hogs, 2 conga lines of hogs, 3 hogs left up his sleeve. Pretty sure he's going to deploy them over here on this right hand side somewhere when the time comes. And he has a giant. Okay, yeah, giant's gone down now. I think the giant's going to die before it actually gets too much value out of the giant, unless he was hoping to possibly trigger a giant bomb, which may or may not have been over at this location. I can't remember if this was a fresh hit. Baby Dragon on the right hand side down here, cleaning up the trash. No wizards, got 1 bowler left up his sleeve. He could probably start dropping that to do some cleanup now. 1 heal spell left. Queen's still up as well. Look, she's shooting a wall because it doesn't matter her Town Hall level. She loves the shooting walls. So bowler's gone down now, and Queen's shooting another wall, obviously, because that's what queens do. If you could just tap on the queen and maybe tap on something else, like if you could direct the queen like that, I think that'd be like a really interesting addition to the game. Just press the queen icon and then immediately tap on a building, and she would possibly deploy to that building to take out that building, so you could actually direct the troops while they're in game. I'm not sure how feasible of a thing that is, but I think it would be a nice addition to see to the game. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, as you can see, having a look at the troops, 30 loons, 2 hounds, clone spell, and so it's going to be, looks like a Sui Lalo clone spell with a clone spell. Sui, clone, Lalo, I guess you could say. Don't know what's in the CC on this one with the clone spell. Looks like the Stone Slammer. Is that a Stone Slammer? Yeah, Stone Slammer coming in. Sui Hero's going to come down, starting to clean up a little bit of funnel there. 1 minute 45 left on the clock. Queen will take out this air defense, and here comes the Stone Slammer onto the other air defense. So there'll be 2 air defenses down and a good whole side section of that base taken out. Air defense is going to go down. Baby Dragon out of the Clan Castle. Now there's an Ice Golem coming out of the Clan Castle. The Queen will get locked up on that Valkyrie and the Ice Golem. The clone spell's gone down. Dragon, E-Drag, and some loons coming out. 35% of the base wrecked already. Now there's only one air defense left, so it was a good takeout, and that air defense is so sick. If that dragon gets another breath off, and that's it. There are no air defenses left on this base at all, so totally wrecked, just waiting, and there's plenty of spells left for the balloons. Freeze spell on the Inferno, plenty of hastes left. We've got the multi up here. Obviously, rule of thumb is often, can you start on a multi and finish on a single? If you've got double multis, you can't really do that. Obviously, there's a heal spell left, so the heal spell will cover that entire area. I'm guessing once the other haste spell goes down to deal with the wizard, try and haste through that area. Yeah, and we've got 1 balloon left still to deploy. Keep that one up the sleeve, either as a trophy or to help with cleanup. Might not even notice that he's got the balloon to deploy. No, there we go. Help destroy the big health storage with the balloon drop and get the base wrecks sooner. Both of the hounds are still up. Didn't even get any pups out of it to help him with cleanup. So obviously with all the air defenses destroyed in the initial push into the base. So lovely little attack from OR2 Team Reddit. Let's move to the next one. I don't care. I don't care. That's the name of the attacker, by the way. Coming in on White Shark, Dragbat. As you can see, Dragbat is still a thing, so even after the nerf, it's not as widely used as it was. Obviously, it did need nerfing. When you can go through an entire Clan War season and only use Dragbats on Town Hall 10s on every single base and wipe them out, yeah, it's something that kind of needed to be a little bit addressed. But people have been modifying their attacks. People have been modifying bases to try and deal with it. And of course, the problem is if you have a base that deals with Dragbat, maybe it makes the base weaker for something else. So if you protect against the something else, it might make it weaker for Dragbat. that's the sort of interesting thing that we've come up with at Town Hall 10, or that's the situation we find ourselves in now. Of course, as Supercell releases Town Hall 13, all the Town Hall 10 people will be scrambling like crazy to try and upgrade further. But anyway, I think that might be a long way off as we get settled and adjusted into Town Hall 12 more still. So Rage Spell's gone down early on that Inferno, and here we go. Bats are down. One air defense down, Inferno down, Tesla down. Second, no, okay, they're moving over to the mortar. Leave the Rage Dragons to take out that air defense, taking out the cannon. They took out the archer, so a lot of good value from those bats. Going to take out another cannon, keep the balloons healthy, take out the mortar, and they'll take out the Tesla probably too. Yep, Tesla's down, another cannon's down. Those bats are doing a tremendous amount of work, and I think what we're going to see here is like we saw before. Okay, the bats did split up, so we don't see it as much. They don't do too much damage on the storages. Obviously, Spell's not doing damage on the storages. That's what we notice. So again, we're seeing the bats taking out things before the dragons get a breath off. At Town Hall 10 at least anyway. Red air bomb triggered. Doesn't hurt the bats, of course. They're just too fast, too quick, and game over for the base. Dragon helps that one down. They should get all this down before any... Yep, there we go. Nice little 3-star. That's the last 3-star at Town Hall 10 from Reddit. Let's move to the Town Hall 11 attacks. All right, before we get into the Town Hall 11 attacks, Reddit had 4 Town Hall 11 6-pack attackers: Spirit, Draken, Encore, Andy, and Dark Shadow. So what I've done here, I've just selected a range of the... I think they were the 3 fastest attacks. Anyway, let's just get into it. As you can see here, we've got 3 free spells. Clean-up attack, obviously, knowing that Tesla was there at a 9 o'clock position. So 8 dragons going to come in. So even at Town Hall 11, we'll still be able to do some drag bat going on. So as you saw before, there was a drag bat Town Hall 11 and an E-drag bat at Town Hall 11 as well. So E-drag's a nice little funnel on this left-hand side here. Baby drag, nice little funnel on that right-hand side from the 12 o'clock. And now just should have a little line of dragons just come across the top, while we have the Sui heroes down at the bottom try and take out that air defense. And then, well, possibly, I mean, if they could even live longer, might be able to take out that second air defense as well. So here come the dragons, balloons, and the Stone Slammer all in. All in. It's like a game of poker, isn't it? All in. Everybody in. We've still got 3 free spells, a rage, and the 6 bat spells up the sleeve. So I'm not sure, can't remember where they all start to get deployed. Warden's abilities activated, keep everything immortal. Stone Slammer's doing a tremendous amount of work there, tanking, destroying things, destroying walls, free spell down on the Inferno, rage spell down on the Inferno, and all the bats. And that's it, another free spell. So we had a multi there. So how do you keep the bats alive during a multi? Just freeze them. Freeze the multi. As you saw, all those bats were circling with the tornado trap, and they were just, as they circled around, the Tesla was just having a field day, just picking them off. It's like shooting the ducks in one of those carnivals where the ducks come along a little treadmill in front of you. Just shoot them with a little BB gun or whatever they have at the carnivals. Stone Slammer didn't even pop, so we don't even know what was in the Stone Slammer. Not during the attack, at least anyway. At the end, there we go. We saw a balloon, and only one balloon came out of the Stone Slammer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Dark Shadow, another one of the 6-pack getters from the Reddit team. So here at Sui Lalo, as you can see, there's a clone spell in the makeup. So we've got a Sui clone Lalo, and 2.5 minutes down left on the attack to go. King and Queen, Baby Dragon taking out, oh, Baby Dragon just took out that bomb. Big bomb taken out by the Queen, by the King. And Stone Slammer coming in. So again, we're seeing a lot of use on the Stone Slammer. A lot of air attacks, even generally overall. There were some hog attacks at Town Hall 11 from Team Reddit. I think we had 3 hog attacks from the Town Hall 11s from Team Reddit. Queen's just gone down on the left-hand side. 28% of the base done, but a nice little funnel to help keep everything pathing around, ending clockwise in that nice little C shape or horseshoe shape. so to speak. Good placement of the haste spells. Heal spell over on that Inferno Tower. The balloons were getting a little bit sick. Eagle Artillery is still up, and Last Hound gone in now. So we've got 2 balloons and some minions left. There we go, all going around the merry-go-round around the Eagle Artillery just for a little while. Then they stop. It's like one of those carnival rides, isn't it? The one that you sit on and it has the big long chains and it just spins you out. That's what that looked like then for a second. Haste spells are down. Last Hound has popped and just waiting on the air defences to air defence will go down. Obviously, he's trying to take out the balloons. All spells are done. Just have the minions left to deploy now. So got a wizard coming down at the top side. Minions have just come down onto the town hall at the bottom. Obviously, you need a lot of minions to take out a town hall. At the very least, you'll get the town hall, even if everything else stops working. Just watch the damage this wizard's doing onto these balloons. Massive amount of damage. I think that one more shot and I think all those balloons would have gone down, and then it would have been a wizard and archer tower left against everything else, and that would have really depended on how much of it ends up in this area at the time. So this is the sort of closeness that I was seeing in a lot of the attacks. We'll just speed up this last 30 seconds where things were just going down, and then that enabled 3 stars. And of course, you've got the time things, as you just saw from the team forums. They just had that time, almost ran out of time, but managed to get the 3-star. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, let's just dive in it. You can see the 2 clone spells in this attack. Heroes have gone down on the right-hand side with the baby dragon taking out the lab and going to take out that gold storage as well. No E-drags to help create a funnel on this one, so just the heroes take out 2 archer towers, take out air defense. Might even, depending on how the queen paths, she might even come and take out the geared up archer tower. She'll take out a wizard possibly. Got a blimp coming in. Haven't seen the blimp too much. Often it was used with the stone slammer. So there we go. Blimps in. Clone spells down. Clone didn't. I think all the balloons went down before the clone spell. So we've ended up with extra electro drags instead, doing a good amount of work. So you just saw the balloon get dropped on the Tesla up the top there. Lava Hounds coming in and balloons coming in. Nice deployment. Balloons, balloons, balloons. Ready to take out each weapon. Haste spells going down to take them out quicker. Or take them out at the same time. 2 haste spells left. Grand Warden's ability still up the sleeve. Last E-drag's gone down at the top up there. He's history. His little lightning bolts didn't do anything. They scorched the grass. That's about all. Second last Lava Hound's popped, but just too much. There we go. Whirly bird in the middle on those balloons. That didn't do too much. Air sweepers pointing the wrong way. Eagle's about to go down. So Eagle stayed up a lot in this one, but didn't really change the outcome. Geared up archer just cannot overcome all of that DPS and HP coming its way. It'll be game over and just a matter of cleanup. Nice little 3-star from Spirit on Team Reddit, who was one of the 6-pack getters at Town Hall 11, and we've seen 3 attacks from those 6-pack getters. And there was the one 6-pack that we didn't get was Draken Encore. Okay, let's move on to the Town Hall 12s now from Team Reddit, and we'll see how they were done. There's the troops if you need to copy them. Well, look, as you can see here, Team Forums, we've got Holps, and if you're a forum goer, you know that we always blame Holps on the forums. So forums have lost, so we have to blame Holps for losing. I think that's the rule, blame Holps. Anyway, hey, seems to work, right? Holps is here. His base got 3-starred. I'm not adding to the conspiracy. I'm not adding to the conspiracy, but I'm just saying. Okay, so we've got the E-drag coming down for a funnel on the bottom side there, 6 p.m. Roughly about the 2 o'clock, 2:30 area. We've got the heroes going to take out Wizzy. A couple of things there, creating a little bit of a funnely area. Keep everything in check inside the base. Queen's going to take out a bit more stuff. I don't think she can reach the Inferno. She will take out the Wizzy though. Now she'll shoot a wall. She loves shooting walls. So here come the dragons and the balloons. Still have the Stone Slammer to come in. I think that might come in on the left-hand side possibly, or who knows where it's going to come in. Possibly that top side. I think it might come in that 12 o'clock position on the Stone Slammer. Lovely placement of the drag bats bat spell with the rage, taking out all that stuff down the bottom there. One air defense still to go down the midway section, and here we go. Stone Slammer coming in, take out that top air defense, and not sure what's in it. Free spell on the Town Hall. Balloons taking out the air defense, and it's a long-lasting free spell. And a second free spell on the Town Hall, so double free spell, bats and balloons. Whoa, there we go. We go for a ride. Oh, that's a good laugh, that one. While the Town Hall try, they're still going. So yeah, Town Hall's down. Oh, look at all those balloons just went down. That's the danger of the Town Hall. Got a P.E.K.K.A. for cleanup. Don't often see a P.E.K.K.A. for cleanup. We'll just run this a little bit quicker. Good lot of dragons still up. Well, we've got 5 dragons still up, plus a Grand Warden and a P.E.K.K.A. smashing through some of the heavy things. Not sure if I think one P.E.K.K.A. can get through the heavy things quicker than one dragon can, which is interesting. Of course, one P.E.K.K.A. equal to 25 troop space. So if you had 25 troop space of something else, well, who knows? Anyway, so let's move on to the next 12. Okie dokie, we've got 8 E-Drags, 4 free spells, 3 rage. And this is the second of the Town Hall 12s from Team Reddit onto Team Forum, taking out Nightcrawler as we've seen previously. Drop the balloon, you're up the top there. Just takes out any possible bombs. Did have a little bit of a Troll Tesla up there. E-Drag down, taking out Funnel. More E-Drags. Rage Spell, Free Spell. Siege Machine, Stone Slammer. Stone Slammer, the Siege Machine of choice. I think Supercell data might tell us. It'd be interesting to know what's the most used Stone Slammer or what's the most used Siege Machine at the moment. I think we might be finding that it is turning out to be the Stone Slammer since its introduction. Very popular little bugger. Got another little Troll Tesla on the right hand side. Grand Warden's ability's been activated. King on the left there that you can see with the Queen. She's going to shoot a few stuff. King's doing a nice little bit of work just tanking in front of her. Queen's taken out the Expo. Now the last air defense goes down. King's still alive. King's tanking, and his little barbs are tanking as well, so the Queen should be able to get out that cannon. Plenty of E-Drag still up. Still got the Troll Tesla on the right-hand side. Second freeze, or last freeze, has just gone down onto that air defense. Queen's ability's just been used now. Let's speed things up a little bit. Get some more archers onto the field, just in case we need them. And that way the cannon can target the archers instead. Of course, the problem is when the Queen moves, she moves before the archers, so sometimes she goes in front of the archers. But here we go. We've just got a few little sick troops left, but just too healthy for the last Tesla. Okay, as you just saw, very sick heroes took out the rest of the base. Let's move on to... yeah, we'll have a look at the next Town Hall, next Reddit attack. Okay, this was the last Reddit 3-star of the war. At 3 minutes left to go on the clock, this attack happened. Have a look at the timer. 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So if you're wondering how close was this war, 3 minutes left on the war clock, and look at the timer on this, a 3 minute something attack. So you cannot get any closer than this. And you've got bowlers coming in. It's like Queen Walk bowlers. So it's not only was it 3 minutes to go in the war, the last 3-star attack that Reddit managed to pull out of the bag, it put them in front by 1 star, this attack. So it was 118 all, I believe, when this attack happened. This one put Reddit in front to 119. So obviously the forums needed to respond at that point, which they actually did. And you're going to see that attack last, and you'll see how close it was as well. And this attack was pretty close as well. Close in time and close in actually getting things done. There is a kind of little caveat. I'll cover that at the end when we see it. I'll zoom in and you'll see what I'm talking about. So good amount of bowlers coming in. Eagle Artillery's just activated, so it's going to start pounding on the bowlers and things like that. Big bomb's gone down. Rage bowlers. P.E.K.K.A. on the right-hand side with the assistance of a bowler to help take out a few things, or a couple of bowlers on the right-hand side there. Drag Loon in the CC. Just mayhem in the middle of the base there. You got freezing things. Queen's frozen. The other thing's frozen up the top there. Rage bowlers, jump spells, Pekka in the middle of the base, big bombs going off, bomb towers, Pekka still running around the outside. And we've got a couple of balloons coming in even just for good measure to take out these Troll Teslas at the top. So it was a very well thought out attack to actually end up taking the 3-star on this base. Queen shooting a wall, of course she is. We all know she loves the walls. Now, at this moment you might be thinking, well, you know, there's a good part of the base left. And to me, when I was watching this, I found it incredible that this still ended up being a 3-star attack. So that Pekka is still, he's walking around, still got a couple of Pekkas down here. Now here's the plus side, is that the Queen has lost the healers and they've gone on to the Pekkas and the King. So the Queen's going to start, well, she's chosen to shoot a different wall, so we'll just zoom in there. She's going to get taken out by these weapons in the middle. Inferno's on all the troops down there. Now the healers have come back onto they just went onto the Queen momentarily, back onto the Pekkas. Now the healers do end up getting taken out, I believe. The Inferno's going to take out the Queen. I think the Inferno takes out the Queen anyway. Queen's losing health, and she can't get the Inferno, and the Inferno will just gradually take her down. Healer's about to go down. King and Queen. Queen's down. Pekkas are still up, but this bowler is still up, sneaky little bugger, and still the big bomb, and the King's lost health, and oh my goodness, how close is this? Just another big bomb. King's almost down to the health. Have a look at the King's health bar. Of course, the Pekka still had a good lot of health, and the other Pekka still had health as well. So in terms of the Pekkas, 25 troop space each. Of course, a sick Pekka hits just as hard as a strong Pekka. Let's have a look at the last attack of the war. This is the absolute last attack of the war. No more attacks after this one. This one started at like 1 minute left to go, end of the war. No more attacks after this one. When this attack took place, Reddit was sitting on 119 from the attack you just saw. Forums was sitting on 118, and then they did this. Have a look at the troops. 8 dragons, 8 E-drags, balloons, Sui heroes, obviously. 5 free spells. We did see another attack with some free spells, but just to come in with a dragon attack with a whole bunch of free spells, just sort of incredible. Okay, so we're looking at 2 minutes 20. Still haven't deployed any troops yet. Clock is ticking down. And once you attack, the war can end as long as your attack still's going. Here we go. 2 minutes and 9. Got the balloon E-drag down, so get the balloon, then the E-drag. Balloon, E-drag, that's just what you saw up there. And now we kind of cross our fingers as this attack transpires. So a bunch of balloons come down, a bunch of E-drags behind the balloons. So obviously those E-drags all fire like you just saw, take out a bunch of things. Stone Slammers come in on the right-hand side. He's going to path down that right-hand side. So free spells on the Eagle. So I've got rage spells, free spells on the Eagle, so the Eagle's not going to take things out. Get another free spell down. The Eagle gets off one shot, but because it's frozen, that shot never... Oh, there we go. The shot did land. And now we've still got the heroes, and to deploy, the Grand Warden's deployed. He still hasn't taken his special ability, hasn't used his special ability yet. So we've still got 2 free spells, 1 free spell now. Freeze on the Town Hall. Town Hall goes down, and doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to affect the dragons. We've still got the heroes coming. So here we go. Heroes coming up this side, up this right-hand side up here. So E-drags on the left, heroes on the right. Just deciding on where I need to put the heroes. Obviously, if you put the heroes on the left-hand side, then they'd just be pathing around with the E-drags. But in this case, the heroes coming down on the right-hand side. So E-drags on the left, heroes on the right. And just keep an eye on what happens to the E-drags, what happens to the heroes, and what happens to end up making this a 3-star attack, and how close it was that it wasn't a 3-star attack. Obviously, the end of the war, it didn't matter anyway. As you can see, that E-drag just took out a lot of things. We can zoom in a little bit closer now. King's gone down. Queen's ability still not used. She's got all of the enemy Queen, enemy cannon, enemy archer, and an air defense and an Inferno to take out. And here we go. The Grand Warden, he's going to go down. He's an air warden, so that... Have a look at the Queen's health. Look how quick that's going down. Inferno Queen, Inferno Queen. Oh my goodness. How close was that as a 3-star attack? Last attack of the war, and so close. That summed up the entire war, all the attacks I saw. That final epitome of that Queen's health just there as a sliver summed up how close this war was. Let's have a look at the field of battle and then the stats. Okay, here we are on the Reddit side. This is what Team Forums did to Reddit. As you can see, 3 Town Hall 12, 3 stars, the rest of them were 2-starred. And I'm pretty sure all the Town Hall 11s and 10s are 3-starred down below, because obviously if the Town Hall 10s didn't do the deal, then Town Hall 11s dipped, and if the Town Hall 11s didn't do the deal, then the Town Hall 12s dipped onto the 11s. So that's what Team Forums did to Team Reddit, and now we'll have a look at what Team Reddit did to Team Forums. Three Town Hall 12 3-stars each, the rest 2-stars. So for meetup number 4, this couldn't have been any closer. It was a great war, a lot of great attacks. It was very hard to decide which attacks to include. So 18 attacks all up shown. And let's have a look at the war stats. So as you can see, both teams used all 90 attacks, 91.82 versus 91.56 percentage. I haven't worked that out in terms of what that is in the actual on any one particular base, but very, very close. 29 3-stars each, 16 2-stars each. New stars per attack, 132, 1.32. Duration of the attack, 2 minutes 20, 2 minutes 24. And of course, these little heroic things down the bottom here. I'm not sure they mean an awful lot, but that is it. Reddit versus Forums, or Forums versus Reddit. Number 4, I think we're up to. Team Forums won the first 2. Teams Reddit have come back with a vengeance and won the second 2, although this one by the skin of the teeth. So number 5 will decide to put either one of them in the lead. So that's it for this recap. Please let me know which attack you thought was the favourite, your favourite attack. I know it was very close. So I don't want to pick any. I don't want to pick any favourites. They were all just really good. But if you've got a favourite one, whether it was one of the Sui Lalos or whatnot, do please let me know. Oh, look, before I go, we'll talk about the dips. So with the Team Forums, just so that everyone knows, Team Forums did 5 Town Hall 10 dips. That is 5 Town Hall 11s had to dip. There were 5 Town Hall 11 dip attacks. And on the Town Hall 11s side, that is, there were 9 from my counting. There were 9 Town Hall 12s that had to dip onto the Team Reddit Town Hall 11s to 3-star them. So that's the Team Forums. On the Team Reddit side, they also had 5 dip attacks onto Town Hall 10s. So the Town Hall 10s were dipped equally on both sides. However, Team Reddit only had to do 2 Town Hall 12 dip attacks onto the Town Hall 11s of Team Forums. So if this was a no dip attack war, then Team Reddit would have won also. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for sticking around to the end to find out all the stats and all the really groovy things, and I'll see you in the next video.